These are the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
And my last guest on this Tuesday morning, I'm pleased to say, is John Chapman. Now, John worked on the iconic film of all time for lots of people called Star Wars. He worked alongside George Lucas and other great members of the cast. And John's on the telephone right now. So, John, a very good morning to you.
Morning, Hughie. How's sunny Preston, if it is sunny?
In fact, it has been until about 10 minutes ago, and it's clouding over.
Oh, really? Okay. No, it's nice and sunny down here. I'm just south of Oxford, and I couldn't believe it this morning when I woke up. I thought, what's all this light coming in the window? Not been used to it.
Well, John, just before we talk about Johnny Rocket's world, just tell us a little about how Star Wars came along.
Ooh, yeah, that's yeah. Well, I had a very, very small role in Star Wars, as most Star Wars fans know. But I feel really privileged to be a part of that iconic movie. And what basically happened was when I was young, many years ago now, is that I actually drove to Pinewood Studios and asked how to get into the film business, and someone was really helpful on the security door and put me in touch with an agent. So I went to London and did a little performance there, and before I knew it, I was in Star Wars, actually, which was in 10 days. So it was a really, really nice, lucky sort of journey, actually. Lovely.
It must have been, I mean, for most of us, we've just watched it in the cinema, watch it on television, but to have been part of it must have been just brilliant.
Well, it was. I spent 5 days on set, and even though, at that time we didn't know the sort of phenomenon of what the movie would end up being, there was a certain amount of magic that was actually going on set. There was great camaraderie, and it was just a wonderful place to be, actually, and everyone was really chilled, and George Lucas was relaxed. And it's not like that now on the sort of mat, as we call it in film now, but it was just a wonderful experience, and quite bizarrely, Hughie, my sense memory of that is smell, actually, because all the set was plastic and perspex, and it was a really, really hot summer in 1976. And the heat was, sort of generating this smell of perspex. So every time I get a smell of perspex or plastic, it just takes me right back there, actually. It's great.
Yes, I can understand that. So, tell us from the world of Star Wars to the world of Johnny Rocket. I would imagine when I look at the website for Johnny Rocket, there's a lot of Star Wars actually within the website with the with the diagraphs. Tell us about Johnny Rocket's world then.
Well, Johnny Rocket, I actually created Johnny Rocket in 1998. I formalised the idea within my head, but again, it sort of came out of a childhood experience, Hughie. I really suffered badly at school. I'm seriously dyslexic, and it wasn't picked up at the time. So the only sort of escapism for me was my bicycle and staring into the stars.
Right.
So I put those two concepts together in 1998, and it was just ironic that I happened to be in Star Wars when I was so passionate about, space travel. But from the day I created that character, I mean, it sort of all happened quite, it's all sort of serendipity, actually. I formalised the idea. I had no concept of ever being an author, obviously coming from my background with dyslexia. But from that day, I decided that this character would be an educational character. He would go off into space on his rocket. He'd come back with an educational, moral, and spiritual message, but it would all be sort of wrapped up into really great illustration and some animation. And I've, for so long, I've heard film producers and directors. They create these products and they put sort of violence and aggression in because the market wants it, but I totally disagree with that. So, my character is purely a space adventurer, but as I say, done in nice, exciting ways. And so we've done some educational work with the character. So have I told you that before, Hugh, or did you look at that, see that on the website? Did Did you hear about the schoolwork that we've done?
I have been looking at the website, but I was going to ask that you actually do go into schools, don't you? And you work, is it particularly with Year 5, Year 6 students in transition into high school?
Yes, it is. And, West Berkshire Council down here picked up my website and saw the ethos of the character and thought that'd be a really good character to use to come up with a problem they have on school transport. So we've worked intensively for the last couple of years putting this project together, and it covers 3 learning objectives. That's the importance of wearing a seatbelt, do not distract the driver, and bullying on school transport. So I've been into 45 primary schools down here now, and the workshop is an hour and a half. We've created a small DVD around that, and it's been really, really successful. And I'd like to roll it out over the country, actually. I'm really quite passionate about it, especially the bullying side of things, because, well, it's you know, they're all on a bus, and they're trapped on a bus, and, you know, issues occur, quite frankly. But it's in secondary schools where the major problem is. But what we decided to do here was to create a preventative product. So it's delivered to Year 6, which is 10, 11-year-olds, before they get into secondary schools. And as I say, it's been really, really good. So I'd love to do some work up in your neck of the woods, actually.
Yes, because is it Burnley where you are next weekend? I know you're in the northwest somewhere.
No, I'm actually in Rochdale for the weekend, in the Wheatsheaf shopping centre, and Martin Ballard, who's put it on, it's going to be a huge event. There's lots of Star Wars actors there. There's Doctor Who figures and American cars, and I think it's going to be a huge, huge event. So I'll be there myself, signing some Star Wars pictures, and obviously selling my Johnny Rocket books with a bit of luck. But I'm quite excited about getting up there, actually.
Great. So that's this coming weekend over there in Rochdale, then, yes?
It is. Yeah. How far is that from where you are, then, Hughie?
Not too far, really, motorway-wise. You could, I'm sure, be over in Rochdale in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes from Preston, okay. So not too far.
No, so, I'm looking forward to getting up there, actually. It'd be really good.
Well, I'm sure people will probably travel over there, but if you could tell us, because as we're speaking, the line is deteriorating a little, but if you could tell us, John, where can people go to find out about the books, and as you say, the important message they carry, and the fact that schools could then maybe use this within their curriculum? Where's the best place for people to find out more?
Well, you've got my website address there, which is www.johnnyrocket.com, and the Johnny is spelled Jonnie, so that's www.johnnyrocket.com. You'll find a lot of information out there. You've obviously got my telephone number, Hughie, so please feel free to give that to any schools that phone you and pass get those details on. I'd love to make contact with them. Okay,
well, John, thank you for talking to me. When I first contacted you, the line was quite good, but it has deteriorated a little, so I'm sorry about that. But I'll give the website out again in a few moments, but thank you for talking to us on Preston FM, and hope the weekend is a success. I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. And thank you for your time, Hughie. It was great to talk to you, and God bless everyone in Preston.
Okay, thanks, John. A pleasure. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
If you've got news, views or events you'd like to share with us and the Chat City team, why not give us an email? chatcity@preston.fm.